Hey everybody, this is Chris Gethard. I'm an actor, comedian, whatever you want to call it. I'm here right now with Travis. How are you, Travis? Good to see you. Now, we met about 2 minutes ago in real life.
That's very true.
Yes, but the reason we're hanging out today is to discuss something. Travis, it's fair to say you're not a fan of mine.
Well, like I wrote to you the second time, is that
Right.
I wasn't a fan of your work.
Fair. Right.
And I happened to make that point clear.
Yes, you did. And the way you made that clear, I did a TV show on Comedy Central in 2010 called Big Lake, and on my IMDb message board, this was posted, and it turned out this was you, Travis. So the subject of the message was, "Please stop acting." And then your message, I actually found it very well crafted. It said, "Please, you are hurting yourself and everyone around you. I can only imagine that you made Will Ferrell smile at some point, and when he needed a replacement, you happened to be standing somewhere in the vicinity. Don't let the fact that you are the lead on a show fool you. You have no discernible talent, no charisma, no personality, and no recognizable skills. Unless your performance is some kind of meta joke a la Andy Kaufman, or to a lesser extent in every sense of the word, Joaquin Phoenix, you need to stop acting. Spend a few years making atonements for your sins, and vow to never, ever, ever stand in front of a camera for the rest of your life." This is my favorite part. This part made me laugh. This is a burn. The one intelligent career choice you have made thus far is to not have your agent, assuming he hasn't hung himself, post a picture on your IMDb profile. You would be wise to try and distance yourself from yourself as much as possible. For the love of God, please stop acting. Please.
It's pretty much it verbatim,
Yeah, I wrote it down verbatim.
Yeah. So, and to a certain degree. I stand by that in the context of Big Lake. I haven't seen anything else you've done, so I really
So
don't
you
know.
reacted poorly to that show and my performance in particular.
I was really sick, and I decided I was going to watch this show, and I watched like 4 or 5 episodes, and I was like, God, this show's fucking horrible.
So you're like home, you're sick, you're already in bed.
But I liked some of the other people on there.
That's fair. I was the main point of contention.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just couldn't wrap my mind around you.
Sure. Fair.
I got bored enough to do that. So.
Yeah. I noticed in another post about the show, not focused on me in particular, you do refer to me by the name Whitey McTalentless.
Yeah, I like to do that. Throw Mick on the last name.
That's
not original, but it's
sure.
So I stand by.
So let me ask you this, and I by no means am I here to. I put myself out into this life, in this world, so it's not a guilt question. It's more a food for thought question. When you found out, because I Googled you and contacted you via Facebook.
Right, you went pretty far. The best way I could tell is that you looked through all my IMDb postings, found one that had a link possibly to an old MySpace page, which I wasn't using. I couldn't really figure out how else. And then from there,
it took me a few hours.
I'm sure you had a few hours.
I found it because the MySpace thing noted that you work with the roller derby in St.
I had when they first started. I was a founder with the.
And then I found a newspaper article about that, and then I Facebook friend. It was creepy. I tracked you down in a creepy way.
Yeah.
But when you found out I had read it, were there any emotional reactions to that?
No, I mean, Chris wrote me asking me to do this, and I wrote him back, and I thought the second letter was brilliant, personally.
It was pretty good. Good.
I mean, like I said, it allows you to say things that you wouldn't necessarily say to someone's face. That means that you're not trying to hurt someone's feelings, and you don't assume that somebody is, trolling their own name and and watching that and being made sad by it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to imagine I'm the only person looking at my IMDb message.
And me, apparently.
You and I think, maybe the only two people who have ever looked at my IMDb message board.
So it's fun, but at the same time, you don't want to hurt someone. I actually went to Brooklyn to apologize to somebody from grade school. I had beer with them the other night.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is like...
And it wasn't even the same guy that I thought it was. It was somebody... But at the time, I was like, yeah, I think it's a kid I used to pick on a little bit. So I went... Oh, well,
wow. So this whole trip to New York for you has been like...
It's just been fucking around. It's not really... It's not like an atonement. I'm not like walking around like apologizing to everybody I meet. I'm so...
That's fair. So when you... Because, like you said, I did research your IMDb contributions. When you don't like something, you tear it up on that
But
site.
you have to remember, I'm in St. Louis. There's not a lot of fuck all to do. No, I take that back. I love St. Louis. But, it's just jibber jabber. I mean, it's what people do. You just get out there, you say things, you talk, no one's listening. except for you.
I was listening.
You got the cut to the door.
It hurt, man.
Yeah.
The part about how my agent might have hung himself.
If you have one.
That's tough.
assume you
I
have an
do. I
agent.
do have an agent. You said my agent's female, but when you said maybe she should have hung herself, that stung.
Yeah.
So I have some anxiety about, career stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean,
Yeah.
you're with a cool crew, and like you just knowing like this group and the different comedians that come out of here, you're
At
with
the
the
UCB theater,
and just
yeah.
different things like that. You're with a cool crew. You've got enough going on.
Yeah.
But but I can see why you'd be nervous.
Based on
not
that
to be
show.
a dick again. But
No,
just,
go for it.
Just comedy. I know a lot of comedians. I've read biographies and autobiographies of comedians. My neighbor's a comedian, and I see it a lot. And just that nervousness that you all have.
Oh yeah.
That all of you all have.
Yeah.
And it's just like this really kind of, it's hard to describe. I mean, I don't want to say pathetic because that sounds so harsh, but I think that you all maybe would say that about yourselves.
I might say that.
It's like that neediness thing and that nervousness thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then you come to the biggest city there and try your hardest and you're
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it keeps you up at night.
This city will crush you. Yeah.
I bake.
You do.
I bake cookies and bread. I mean,
Would
there's
you
not a lot
say
of
so?
stress.
Would you say that you are better at baking than I am at acting?
Absolutely. Yeah, but I'm not even that great at baking.
But you're
no.
still better than I am at acting.
Yeah, that's apples to oranges, or
Okay.
bread to Big Lake. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not the most competent guy in the world. I don't think I'm the most talented either. I'd like to think I'm a little better than your message knows.
I mean, but at the same time, you really shouldn't be getting hung up on this shit.
Oh no, I'm not that hung up on it. More than just interested. I'm still. I mean, I took the chance. I came to New York. I tried.
Yeah,
I put myself in
absolutely.
that position to get that opportunity.
And here you are.
Yeah, making internet
Crawling it.
videos.
Yeah, making internet
with a
videos.
dude who doesn't like me.
Like I said, it's nothing about you personal. It was just about
Fair.
it was me, half sick, half delusional, and just writing stuff out. But I still stand by what I wrote. I still think it.
Fair. Yeah. Well, you burned me pretty hard.
Yeah, I
Thank
came all
you.
the way to New York to apologize.
Yeah, and this
Just-
was also done. Like September 2010.
Yeah, it was like back when your show was on the air.
We're now just about in April 2011.
Yeah, this is a long because it was weird. I got that message from I got a friend request from you, and I thought, who the hell is Chris Gethard? How do I know this guy?
Oh,
And
it's
I
pronounced
realized-
Gethard.
I know,
Yeah.
but then did he get hard? I mean,
Right.
did he get there?
Right,
He played
right.
both ways, but
And when I friended you, you put a message on my wall.
which
that
you
said-
promptly removed.
Yeah, you
which
said-
I was disappointed. I
you
thought,
said, "Why are you friending me?"
I think you suck.
I think you
Why
suck.
did you send me a friend request? I think you suck. Which
Yeah.
I thought, given the tone of the message you sent me, like, oh, I'm playing along and I can take the hit, but then you removed the one from your Facebook. I thought maybe that was a little bit. But nobody.
We hadn't we hadn't
We hadn't
corresponded
really
yet
worked
at
anything
that
out
point.
yet, yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, there was some
But
incidents.
that's because when I first got that, I was like, okay, this dude obviously spent some time tracking me down.
Yeah, it took a
And
lot.
it had to be because once I figured out who you were, and I was like, oh, I remember that. That's the guy from Big Lake. I saw that show. That I remember writing that, and I was like, he must have tracked me down off of that somehow.
Yeah,
And so once I realized all that, I was like, well, that's weird.
it was weird. You would be surprised at how weird it
But people
was.
do that all the time. I mean, I'm not, it's not necessarily weird for you. I mean, people are out there looking up their first, girlfriend, their first
Right.
this, that, the other. So it's not.
I knew where you lived
Because,
before
like-
I knew your last name.
I know, I saw things of people on Craigslist, and by the time they come over, I know what they do, where they live, how much their house is worth. It's just not because I'm like some weird stalker, just because I like to, it's easy
Yeah.
to do, and you just can figure out who people are.
Yeah, I like to know when someone hates me this much. I like to find out
I
as
mean,
much
hate you.
about
That's the
them.
thing. I don't really hate anybody.
This denote. You have to admit this denotes.
It's pretty harsh,
hate.
but I mean that's internet trolling. That's not real hatred. That's not real emotion. That's the bluster of a bully. I mean, that's not like
Sure.
a real thing.
So so you're saying troll,
And if I-
bully,
yeah,
as a troll and bully,
As a
admitted,
troll and bully.
knowing that this affected me so much, is that like the dream? Or
Not
you
really,
like,
because like I
yeah.
said, once again, you don't really expect. Like I would never say this to someone's face, not because I didn't have the courage, just because I wouldn't want to hurt them.
So yeah,
Like,
it's social. It would be a
and even
social
I'm-
faux pas to say this.
Right. And even if I'm online chatting around, if I know the individual or even vaguely know them, I'm not going to
Sure.
fire all cannons forward, because there's a certain give and take and a certain play. When it's just like the guy on the TV that sucks in that show, then you
Okay.
kind of can be free to. Every time I say that, he smiles and looks at the camera like, "Hey, he said I suck again, little fucker."
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
But hey, that was a hard gig. That show was in development hell, from what I understand.
I did my best, man.
I know.
I
And
stepped
I
up.
couldn't. I
did
wouldn't
my
have been able to
best.
do much better.
Well, no, I don't want to burn any bridges with people who have given me chances. But
No, it was a hard line.
I do my
what's
best.
His name? John Heder left, and
Oh well, let's not get into that. Right?
Let's not get
into that.
Yes.
But now that we've met, because you said if you know someone a little bit, you would do that. So I feel like maybe my next project, you might not be so, or maybe you'd be even meaner.
What's that?
Like,
what's your next project?
I don't know. I mean, time will tell. We'll see what works out.
I'll give you a grain of salt.
Yeah, because right now I'm at that point where I'm like, who knows what's coming down the pike? Maybe something, maybe nothing.
Other guys too.
We'll see, man.
Went to the bar from there the other night. I haven't seen the movie, but
oh yeah, with Menace.
By Columbia University.
Oh, is that the bars they go to?
I don't know. I never saw the flick, but they had a picture of Will Ferrell. They said they hung up Christmas lights during the movie, and we left them up.
All right, cool.
Classed it up a notch.
Well, I'm glad we're friends now because maybe it means you'll take it easy on me next time.
Yeah, assuming there is one.
Yeah, great point, Travis. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your trip to New York.
Yes.
Thank you.
I gotta go up to LaGuardia.
That's fair. Have a safe trip home to St. Louis.
You gonna make it?
I'll be okay in the long run, I think. We'll see where I land. I've been trying to figure it out for years now.
Talk to your brother.
What's that?
So talk to your brother about it. See, I researched you too. You and your brother have a nice little, combative, friendly relationship.
Oh, wow. Well, now we're getting real psycho.
Now we're getting real.
How'd you pick up on that?
Let's see. I've looked you up on...
Let's
not.
Let's cut it there while we talk